joining us today. We have the pleasure in Brattleboro of having a long-time asset to our community, especially to community members who have served and been great productive members of society for all of their working lives. It's a program now known as Brattleboro Senior Meals. Glad to be able to profile it today with three members of our community. The one to my immediate right is Chris McAvoy, who runs the program based in the Brattleboro Senior Center, the Gibson-Aiken Center. Peter Sears is with the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, and health professional Deborah Albright is with us. She's to my far right. Thank you all. Maybe we should start off by finding out just when you're serving and what people in the area can expect when you walk through the door. I know that when I walk through, it smells great. Mm-hmm. It's the first thing that hits me.
We serve lunch 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. 12 noon is the hour that we serve. The cooks are in early in the morning, about 6:30. They're preparing Meals on Wheels, which goes out the door about 10:30. We also have breakfast twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, and that's served at 7:45. So any time in the morning you come by, there's usually something tasty being cooked at that particular time.
That's why it always smells good. So how many people do you serve in the region, both with Meals on Wheels and with people who come in, sit down and enjoy a meal and enjoy each other's company?
Yeah. We probably put out around 160 meals a day. The Meals on Wheels is our largest group of people that we serve, anywhere from right around 70 right now. We also provide meals for the gathering place, which is about 40 people, and then anybody who walks in the door at 12 noon. So that varies a lot depending on what we're serving. We obviously have special things that people like more than others, and favorite meals. So we can't really predict how many people are going to come through the door.
So the most obvious questions for a rapidly aging chow hound like myself is how much does this cost and where do you find the menu?
The menu, you can pick one up in our newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter that comes out that we do with the Senior Center. Also, there's copies of that all over town. We have them at different housing places. We have them at the library here in the town offices. We also have copies at the Senior Center, so if anybody who would come in the Senior Center, they could find the menu. It's also online on our website, which is www.brattleboro.seniormeals.org. And that's got a really neat feature on there. If you scroll across the menu with your mouse, what you're having that day comes up. So,
well, the calendar.
Yes, the calendar.
It's got the 30-31 day calendar, and today's date, which is useful in itself, is sort of in gray. You put the pointer there, and the menu pops right up.
Sounds like you've checked it before.
Yes, I have checked it once or twice.
So how much does this cost?
So for people 60 and over, it's by donation. Suggested donation is $3.50 a meal. Sometimes when we do larger meals that involve appetizers and cake, we ask for a little higher donation. For people who are under 60, we charge a market price, which is $6.
Still, that's a really good value.
Mm-hmm.
So why do people come other than the fact that they're getting a nutritious meal? And I guess I'd throw the question out firstly of how important is that nutrition, getting something that might be a daily hot meal, and how many people actually get a daily hot meal in the society at large?
Well, that's a big question there. it's really important to get a nutritious meal. And you
Right. I happened to go around with one of the volunteers that deliver the meals and met with some of the folks that we delivered meals to. And a lot of what they said is they would not bother cooking for themselves. And that, they're not even really interested in food, some of them, but that they find that their children are saying they're looking better, and they will even admit they're feeling better. And we do know that it's 1/3 to a half of the elders with health conditions is usually due to poor nutrition.
Is there a socialization benefit of getting out and enjoying a meal and not sitting at home alone?
Absolutely. You meet other people, make new friends. There's quite a very tight-knit group that come down to the senior center. You enjoy different types of activities at the senior center too, and we try to pair a lot of the activities along with the meal. For example, we had a woman that did a presentation on her hiking through Patagonia, and we made an empanada and had a really nice sweet dessert for that particular day. So we try to do meals that are fun. Our birthday luncheons are very fun. We have an entertainer that comes in and plays piano, and we sing. We have, it's a party. It's a birthday party.
Tim, I think somewhere in that question was what's it like if you go to the lunch, and what we could paint a picture of that a little bit. The dining area is the senior center, which is on the lower level of the Gibson-Aiken building on Main Street, which is across from the post office.
In downtown Brattleboro.
In downtown Brattleboro.
Right.
And so you'll go down the steps, you'll meet a couple of people on the reception table who will be glad to take your donation, give you a friendly greeting. There are probably 6 or 7 tables that seat 10, I think, Chris, right? 8?
7.
Seat 7 around, and there's always cheerful conversation going on, sometimes quite serious, sometimes good-natured banter. You're likely to find, and I just jotted down a list of occupations of people that you can find there on a daily basis, and these have been their careers, and it'll resonate with you. There are teachers, nurses, doctors. There's an industrial chemist, an engineer, several librarians, artists, musicians, professional, some corporate executives, and so there's guaranteed to be some good conversation. People are very interested in current affairs, up with the news, so if there's something local or national to talk about, that's likely to get a good airing. I find that I learn an awful lot. I learn a lot from the experiences of these people when I'm spending lunch with them. I also get a lot of local news that I wouldn't have got anywhere else, and the inside track, and even a little bit of gossip. So it's friendly. New people are really given a welcome, and we've just came up with the idea of making sure that somebody among us has a specific responsibility to go up and welcome and give a friendly hi to anybody who's there for the first time, introduce them to a few people, and sort of get them participating. And the meals are brought to the table. You can see the kitchen and the preparation going on in back, but volunteers are bringing the plates, and altogether it's a very social and friendly hour.
And I think especially for people who live alone, and to come, it's so hard for them to want to cook a big meal for themselves at home, and they can come down at noontime and have their main meal there with folks, and then make something light for dinner. Even, I mean, most of the people that I see that come to the congregate meals are pretty physically active. I mean, they can get around really easily, and it's...
That's a nice idea, because you throw out a couple of things here. One, Vermont in general and Windham County specifically has a very large population of people 65 and over. And secondly, sometimes when you live alone like that, you are much more prone to having the symptoms of depression. So being out among people is the best thing you could do.
Right.
So given all of that, do you feel you're meeting all the need of the community?
No, I wouldn't. I feel like we're only touching a tip of the iceberg. The Meals on Wheels is more of an outreach program for people who they cannot get out. Most of them have some sort of issue, either preparing food or with transportation or with income or with health. So it's a very important piece to send a volunteer, a friendly volunteer, out to someone's home. And part of it is the meal and the nutrition, because that helps them get better. But the other piece of it is just talking with someone and connecting with someone. So we serve about 70 meals a day with the Meals on Wheels. We're talking that that's only a very small portion of people. Most of these people, at least on the last time I looked over our roster, we have, I'd say, about half of the people are below the poverty level. So it's really important. This nutritious meal is really important to their well-being.
And, just to reiterate what you said, I always felt that one of the things that was so important about Meals on Wheels was that contact with the volunteer. When I went around, it just established that for me, because this volunteer would ask about a doctor's appointment, or did you get to do this? Did you pick up your meds? Just in a matter of a short, maybe 5 minutes, a lot was discussed, and you could see how important that volunteer was to those people.
Yeah, sometimes if someone lives alone, this may be the only contact they have with the outside world every day. Given that, we are in an era where money is getting tighter, both here in the Brattleboro area and from the federal government. Has that hit you yet? If not, will it, and how much?
Well, it has not hit us yet. The date where the sequestration should take effect for us is October 1st. We don't know how much it's going to affect us. It could be that we would be level funded if the federal government decides that this is not what they want to do. It could be that we can get money from Senior Solutions. It also could be that it would be 8.5% cut of the federal budget, which would affect us directly. We'll find out this summer. We're also losing a contract on July 1st, which has been very beneficial to our program. So it's kind of like the old one too. Meanwhile, the price of gasoline is fluctuating. We never know how much it's going to cost to actually deliver a meal until that morning. And also, it's the price of food is fluctuating. I mean, it appears to be going up. It's all these factors have made it difficult for us to keep our head above water. But I have to say that our board, of which Deborah and Peter are part of the board, have done a wonderful job this year in fundraising, and we've expanded our mailing list. We're really working hard to make sure that we can keep things rolling.
And this makes local, individual, and business and corporate support more important than ever. And there's no formula for how we do this financially. We just anybody who's moved by the situation and wants to help is most welcome to. And we'd love to have even more businesses coming on board and giving us donations and financial support.
In what ways have you been fundraising?
We have an annual appeal, and I would say, tripled the number of people that we mailed letters to this year. We also have, we did a second appeal in March. We're part of the Feinstein Challenge, and we used that to raise money for the Feinstein Challenge. We have a Welcome Center event coming up on August 4th, I believe. It's a Sunday, where we'll be selling items at the Welcome Center and raise money. That was successful for us last year. It was kind of a fun thing to do. You get to meet and greet all of these people that are coming into the state. Other things, we had a quilt raffle, raised some money from that.
We've been having, well, it's not like fundraising, but having guest speakers come for lunches and for the breakfasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that because it brings more people in for the congregate meals.
That is a good idea, but you've priced the meals so low. Does that even cover the cost of the food?
No, it's sad. And if I look at statistics and data from people that donate, we have a certain category called participant donations, and when we ask $350, the average amount of money that we get for the congregate donations is around $250. The average amount of money that we get for the Meals on Wheels donations is around $1.20. So that really goes to show that the seniors are suffering also, because they would make donations if they were able. It's a terrible thing, I think, when people have to make a choice between whether they're going to have medicine or whether they're going to buy food.
It is very scary to work all your life and suddenly realize your only source of income is Social Security, which is just a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really hard for people to ask for help. And, and I think one of the things that the Meals on Wheels, a lot of times they're referred by hospitals or doctors and family members, and so that they don't have to go out and ask for it, which is, I think, helpful for them.
And that's a good point, because we are seeing the greatest generation ever, as they had called themselves, reach and surpass retirement age. The baby boomers are getting there now, and these are people who prided themselves on their self-reliance, and that's the hardest thing to do, is to say to somebody, I need help, especially when you're looking at a child or a friend who comes in to check on you, and the last thing you want to do is admit that you want help, is because that takes away the independence that you have.
And yet, interestingly enough, it helps them to maintain their independence, the Meals on Wheels, because they stay a little healthier and they have that contact and they're more able to stay in their home, so they're not ending up living with a family member or in a nursing home.
And certainly the numbers of people that you're going to be seeing are going to be going up.
Mm-hmm. The numbers of people over 60 now. The baby boomers are of age now.
Yes, sir.
that does kind of frighten us. So what can this community do to, for instance, volunteer their time for things like Meals on Wheels, because that's an important component of what you do?
Shall I take that one? Well, you're right. The diversity of volunteering opportunities with Senior Meals is is huge. And Chris and I just sat down the other day and looked at currently what the volunteer corps looks like for senior meals alone. There are 15 volunteers who, in one way or another, are helping with the packing of the meals, getting them ready for the drivers who then pick them up and take them out the door. There are 5 or 6 volunteers, and these are all different individuals, who staff the dining room, bring the meals to the tables, etc., set the tables. There are 10 volunteers a week who are involved on the front desk, taking receipts and greeting. One of those also has the task of a daily trip to the bank with deposits. We have one receptionist volunteer through the week answering the phone. The board are all volunteers. Chris mentioned a little bit about some of the things we do, and the board is usually 8-10 members. And take a guess at how many Meals on Wheels volunteer drivers we have.
Probably 40?
Well, 10 more than that. There are 50 volunteers a week doing driving. Some have regular routes on multiple days. Others intentionally are in the wings and there to fill a route, when somebody's gone sick or can't make it. That all adds up to 100 volunteers for the Senior Meals Program.
Incredible. And that's another way to keep yourself healthy, by getting out and doing something.
Well, yes. I've been in the business of senior volunteering, putting people in community volunteer positions as volunteers for about 6 years now, and it's become more and more apparent to me not just the importance of the service they do, which is tremendous, but the positive impact on the volunteers themselves, and any one of them will testify to this, to the added dimensions and value it brings to life. Having a commitment gives more meaning to life, and we all need a reason to get up and get out and get going in the morning, and it's very, very important. The community health aspect is volunteering. We've got people, some people just intuitively know this, and I've had more than one person come into the office and say, I quit my job, I retired from my job of 30 years on Friday, and this is Monday morning, put me to work. I need to be busy, and I know myself, and it's just volunteering is very, very healthful and important thing.
And in case someone would like to make a financial contribution, so we don't end up seeing one of you at the exit to one of the shopping centers in town with a tin cup, how can we do that?
Well, you can stop into the senior center. I'm there Monday through Friday. The office is in the front of the senior center there, and you can drop a check off. Or if you wish to, you can write a check to Brattleboro Senior Meals, and the address is 207 Main Street. Attention, Chris.
And the website again?
www.brattleboroSeniorMeals.org. We also have a Facebook page.
Whoa. Hey. You all are in the Facebook generation. How do we find that?
Brattleboro Senior Meals.
Very good.
So you can like us on Facebook.
That would be a good thing. I spend all my time at work going like. All of you, thank you so much. A great service, and we should do what we can in this community to keep it going. Our thanks to Chris McAvoy, Peter Sears, and Deborah Albright, all from Brattleboro Senior Meals. So, you want to make sure this is a program that's ready, willing, and able when you need it. Make a contribution if you can. Volunteer. Show them your support. This is Tim Johnson. Thank you for watching.